Hey everybody, welcome back. As I highlighted at the outset of the program, I'm excited to have a conversation with a fellow who I love to know personally, and it's a real thrill when folks that you know from around town go out into the world and do amazing things. Of course, we see a lot of those kind of folks during the Sundance Film Festival, but once the festival is over, it's always fun to return the focus to our athletes, and the fellow sitting next to me has some impressive hardware with him this evening. He is the third place finisher in this year's IBSF World Cup Paraskeleton category, and although they were one or two racers short for official World Championship status at San Moritz, he came in first in the paraskeleton competition, and so he is also this year's unofficial world champ. Please welcome my pal, Ryan Gautieri. What's up, brother? How are you?
It's great.
Good to see you, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Yeah. So,
Dude.
yeah, you know,
It's huge, man.
I mean, it's my third globe, and you know, it's always an honor to get one. You know, I can't complain about having one. You know, and it's just like every year the sport keeps growing, and it's a lot of fun just getting out there and competing.
That's really cool. Talk a little bit about kind of the original inspiration of getting involved, and as we were talking a little bit, it's something that you can hope to be world class at.
It's something that's starting, and like 3 years ago was my first season, and I was actually raced in the first World Cup ever held, and it was here in Park City.
That's right.
You know, and it was just, you know, it was nice to be able to fly overseas the last 3 years and compete and represent USA, and you know, have a lot of fun while I'm doing it.
Yeah, some amazing travels, huh?
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of years, you know, I've been in Switzerland, I've been in Austria, and this year we added Lillehammer to the list, and
That's cool.
you know, it's nice to see different tracks, and they're all different. They have their own unique corners that make them special, and it was just, you know, it's a lot of fun. And you know, I'm an adrenaline junkie, so
Yeah, right.
I thrive off of it. You know, going as fast as I can. You know, being able to go like 130 kilometers an hour in Switzerland,
That's
which is about
insane.
80 miles an hour.
That's crazy.
You know, it's a lot of fun when your chin's an inch off the ice.
It's, for me, it's always been the hardest thing to understand, although all of the hurdling down the ice track at 70, 80 miles an hour is a little, but especially like you say with the chin leading, man, that is definitely a unique
Well, I mean, in
experience,
skeleton,
I'm sure.
you have like the least amount of control and the least amount of padding. You have a onesie and a helmet. And it's just a matter of steering pressures when you can, so you can come out of the right spot and not smash the wall.
And you're a specific kind of athlete, is it fair to say, given that skeleton is different in a lot of ways than bobsled, where you've got different functions and...
Yeah, so like for paraskeleton, because I have a prosthetic leg, we jump off the block and put one leg on the sled and then push with the other leg. So, you know, we can't get the speed at the top of the track that the able bodies can.
Sure.
Because they're sprinting off the top. But we can almost match their speed at the bottom.
That's really cool. And talk about this season. You mentioned that and you had great results all season long. Obviously, World Cup is a compilation of a group of races.
So this season, you know, we set out to have 6 races always and a World Championships. And, you know, this season we had a couple athletes get injured and a couple athletes have some personal issues. They had to leave Europe to come back stateside to take care of. And, you know, it kind of shortened their season up, which is, you know, was unfortunate because I was looking forward to having more races and, you know, more opportunity to get a different globe. But, you know, I'm happy that I at least have a bronze globe to add to my collection.
And talk a little bit about San Moritz, because that sounds like a really unique experience even within your sport.
Well, San Moritz is where skeleton and bobsled were created in the 1800s. And it's the only natural track in the world where they hand sculpt out of snow and ice every year.
So let's just review that for a second. Hand sculpted, in other words, it's not a concrete and steel frame that then they put water on.
No steel. They build it out of snow and then they get water on it and turn it into ice. And there's this one corner, it's called Horseshoe Corner, which is like going on the outside of one of the U-turns on Royal Street. So that corner can make or break your time depending on how you come out of it. And the guy that's been building that corner has been building that corner for like 30 plus years. So they give you a section and they're like, this is your baby. you only work on this section.
Oh, no kidding. So that corner is his.
The track is by definition perfect. You know, it is smooth as glass, and you don't hear the echo going down. All you hear is the wind.
Interesting. And did you have that sense when you were? I forget. Did you do 2-3 runs? I don't remember.
The World Championships, we have 4 runs.
Oh, okay, 4.
So,
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a combined total time of 4 runs. I messed up my first run by having the slowest push I've had in the last year.
Right.
Because I ended up having tape in my cleat, and my foot was just slipping on the ice.
Amazing things that happen.
So I got down to the bottom, being like a second and a half behind first place,
Which
is quite substantial.
is a big number.
You know, but my second run, I was able to pick up half a second on him. And then the third run, which was the first run of the next day, I set the track record for the year.
Wow.
Picking up a whole second on him. So it was only
great,
about
man.
0.04 of a second behind first place going into my 4th run.
Nice.
So, and coming into my 4th run, I had another fairly clean run, and ended up winning by about a half a second. So,
Which again, kind of a big margin of victory.
yeah,
by
I
the
mean,
time.
last year I had the track record on that track, and since it's a new track every year, your record only lasts for the season.
Interesting.
So I was happy to be able to have the track record 2 years in a row now.
Congratulations,
Thank
man. So how do you feel coming out of 3 seasons? That's kind of it's a critical mass. You've been
Yeah.
at it for a while now.
I mean, the first season I had like a loaner sled from the FIVT or the IBSF,
Right.
which is like trying to compete at World Cup level with rental skis.
Sure.
You know, you can do okay, but it's going to hold you back,
Sure.
especially when you get a new sled every race. So
Wow.
you got to get used to it.
Right.
So at the end of that season, I decided I was going to get my own sled, pursue it, you know, a little bit more and be a little bit more competitive. So I think this year I was just finally getting used to my sled, knowing the ins and outs and
Right.
the subtle things I can do to make it steer. And it's really, you know, helped having my own sled to get used to it. And, you know,
It's home based always.
yeah,
go back
you know,
to.
it's just like
That's cool.
growing up here, Park City is, you know, the home track, but
Right.
it's not like any other track in the world. So you can't really compare that track to another track.
I see.
I mean, I would say Park City is like driving on the freeway with big banking corners.
I see.
And
Gotcha.
then St. Moritz is like driving just as fast, but through the woods. You know,
That's crazy.
you actually go from St. Moritz to Celerina. You go from one town to the next, and it's 1,800 meters. And I did it in
1.8 Ks down the road. How
I
long
did
was
it
it?
in a minute and 13 seconds.
That's
So,
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when you stop and think about what that translates to speed-wise, miles per hour, and then try to put it in the context of remove the automobile with multiple tons of protective steel and
Yeah, and then I mean it's like the
Airbags
the monobob, the one-man bobsled, able body, pushing off the top, does it in that time.
wow,
So-
no kidding.
Yeah,
So you're on a
happy
par
to be right there.
performance-wise. That's really cool. Do you mind if I pick this up?
for it, man.
I'm always
It's super fun to get through security on the way home with
Yeah,
these
I'm
things.
sure. Oh, it's kind of a moment of terror, I suppose, especially since this is, I'm assuming this is crystal
It is.
instead of trying to get my face out of there so you can just see the beautiful work on this.
And then when they X-ray it, it just makes your whole bag green.
Oh,
And they're like, "What's in your bag? Like, we gotta open this." And it's like,
What?
well, that bag has an extra leg in it. This bag's full of sugar.
Right.
So,
No doubt. Now, is there any sort of tradition of turning this upside down and putting some sort of appropriate delicious beverage in it at all? or-
definitely, every year we flip them upside down and fill them with champagne.
Right on, man. So, as we were talking a little bit, you're going to be on the bike this summer, continuing to train.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there's no ice anywhere to slide during the summer because there's no tracks in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah.
They're all in the northern hemisphere. So
And
in
will
summer-
you? Is there any kind of for lack of a better way to put it, like a video game kind of training, video-based
Well,
training? at all?
they have a push track up at the Olympic Park where you can practice pushing.
Right.
You know, but it's different. You know, but it's still something to work on leg strength and technique.
Sure.
But it's
And just being around, I'm sure that matters.
you know,
a
just
lot,
keeping
too.
you fresh. You know, so you don't get at the top of the track first time in the season and be like, okay, I think I remember how to do this.
Yeah. Well, and the stakes are a little bit higher than
Yeah.
I mean, I think of that same sensation when I get back on the snowboard for the first time in the season, and You know, it's like, well, okay, well, yeah, I feel it, but there's also some moments where I'm sure that.
But then again, when you're on your snowboard, your first run, you're not going to go 75
Exactly,
plus miles an hour.
completely, yeah. Stakes are a little higher for you, for
and
sure.
here in Park City, they have the concrete track, so it doesn't really give.
Right.
Like any track really gives.
Right. It's probably a little more friction on the concrete than on an ice track when you're sliding
it's weird.
along.
In St. Moritz, it's kind of like more of a burn than a smash when you hit.
I see.
So it's definitely different.
And will you have like mini crashes in training or in practice kind of thing? Or is it like you have to stay safe enough that you don't get into crash territory?
Well, I mean, in any run, you could crash.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, being confident and attacking your run instead of being scared of it. If you're second guessing yourself or you're scared about it, like, that's when you're going to get into trouble.
Sure, and if you don't have that right line.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen. Like, I thought I broke my hip in Germany when I entered a corner late. Because this corner, they tell you to drop your right foot as hard as you can when you enter and as hard as you can when you exit. But when I slide, I don't have a right foot. So by entering late, like, there wasn't really much I could do other than steer it as hard as I could.
Right. Now you're trying to correct from the front.
Yeah.
Rather
I mean, I ended up hitting the roof on the exit and smashing down.
Wow.
I got to the bottom of the track and the ambulance was there like,
we're ready
okay?
for you.
And I was like, yeah, I'm okay.
Right, everybody saw that.
Yeah,
Ooh.
they were watching the video and they just like, they were ready.
Oh, that's cool, man. Well, Ryan, congratulations, man. It's been great to get to know you over these last years and see you at the cabin. Your brother's awesome, and of course we're big fans of the cabin and love to hang out there. But to see you go out and do this and to be a part of making a name for Park City out in the world, man, this is just fantastic. And I'm guessing that next year there's only going to be one spot on the podium that you're looking for, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like with every race, you always want to be on the top, but
absolutely,
you can't be upset. You gotta welcome the competition, and embrace it.
And where can folks go to find out more about the series? Online, social media?
Online, social media. They have actually a program called G-Force up at the Olympic Park in Park City. So if they want to get into it, they could try it through that program.
And are you pushing the social media these days? Are you working it?
I am, as much as I could.
Sure,
it's just, trying to get the word out about the sport and get more athletes.
That's cool.
Because we're really trying to get into the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Games. So I'm hoping that a couple of us will be invited to go full run in Korea for the able-bodied. To get the word out even more.
Sure, and to see the level at which.
Just to show them what we're doing and, that
you all are.
We should be, invited.
Absolutely. Well, best wishes on that. How huge of a thrill would that be? I feel too, the Olympic spirit is alive and well, and we'll hope for
always.
that for you, for sure.
We're less than a year away now.
That's right.
So.
That's right. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming in.
Great seeing you, Terry.
Ryan Gautieri, unofficial world champion, third place in the World Cup in the IBSF paraskeleton. That is cool stuff. I'm excited for when we next have a conversation, and this is a Golden Globe sitting next to us for the world champion and the World Cup champion. We're going to take a break. We've got weather, lots more music. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.